What up, what up, what up? East Coast, West Coast, North, South, worldwide. YouTube family, Sickle Cell Warriors family. Welcome to another episode of Our Sickle Life. My name is Ulyss, and today I have a guest with me, Parnel.
How you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you,
Hey,
man.
how you doing? Hello, everybody.
So, introduce yourself to the people, let them know what you do, and your relationship with sickle cell.
Well, my name is Parnel Abraham. I actually was diagnosed with Sickle Cell Disease (SS) at birth. So, but I was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. So, I guess having sickle cell disease, I was pretty much educated on a home life in managing sickle cell disease. Currently now, I'm the president of the Sickle Cell Foundation Support Group here in Atlanta, Georgia. Predominantly what I do is educate people on managing sickle cell disease from a different perspective. We tend to educate on natural living. What that means to me is sickle cell is minor, but we have to learn how to live, period. You know, learning how to live life is most important than anything else. Once you learn how to cope with life skills, then you could manage whether it's going to be sickle cell disease, diabetes, whatever the so-called diagnosis is. You could pretty much balance that. So to me, it's important that we provide that information not only to the sickle cell disease community, but overall aspect on wellness and lifestyle choices overall.
And guys, I wanted to mention, if you guys like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff, because that keeps us going. I was diagnosed with sickle cell when I was 2, and my parents from Haiti as well.
Okay.
And so I was diagnosed in Haiti actually, because when I was I was born in Canada, but when I was growing up, they didn't know what was going on with me. So I was always sick as a baby, and then every time they go to the hospital, they will give them all kind of different reason, but that was nothing real. That wasn't nothing that was connected to sickle cell actually. So when my parents went to Haiti on vacation, and I got sick while I was there, and that's how I got diagnosed with sickle cell.
Okay.
To make a long story short, when were you diagnosed with sickle cell?
I was actually diagnosed at 6 months, and what was interesting...
Was it here? Or
No, actually, I was still in Haiti at that time, because I was still in Haiti as a young child. But what actually happened is my parents knew a physician who was a pediatrician, and who came over to the house. I think that time my mom was complaining, I was maybe 6 months, that I didn't usually cry a lot. So at that particular time, I kept crying and crying. And the physician came over, and he just looked at my joints and said he had sickle cell disease.
Okay.
He didn't even need any blood exam or anything like that. He just knew. He just knew from what he was observing in regards to the inflammation in my joints and my crying. And then, of course, the blood test was revealed that. But that's how I was diagnosed. And that was the beginning, but fortunately, I've been blessed.
When did you move here?
I probably was, I'll say, around 10 years of age when we came to the U.S. We live in Brooklyn, and then from there moved to Queens. And I lived all my life in Queens, New York, until I'll say, early 1997 when I moved here to Atlanta, Georgia. But I lived my life basically hospital-free my entire life.
Okay.
You know, so.
Well, how did you manage that? Is it what type of sickle cell do you have?
Sickle cell disease, SS.
SS?
SS.
I'm S-beta thalassemia. So, in your experience, have you been number one, did you have a lot of crisis growing up? Number two, were you hospitalized a lot? Or you never had those kind of issues too much?
Growing up, I had pain episodes. They will always be able to manage at home, whether it was just a simple little aspirin or something like that. And that was like my early teens, where I've never had any type of major pain episode where I've actually been hospitalized. I've always managed everything at home.
Okay.
So that has been a blessing. But I think as I've started getting in my late teens, when I'm talking about 2021, I started implementing lifestyle changes. So to me, at that early age where at I was 17, 18. I was reading books on metaphysics. I was studying breathing techniques. So I think that was the foundation to where I am today in regards to managing sickle cell pain episodes and any other health issues that may have arise during that time.
Okay. Can you tell the viewers, like, I know you're a founder of a CBO in Atlanta, Georgia, and can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I don't want to take the credit as being a founder because the Sickle Cell Foundation Support Group actually was a group that started back in 1986 when they were around. So when I had came to Atlanta, I met a coworker who was actually part of that support group.
Okay.
So I was introduced to the support group, and I started volunteering with them. And it was during that time frame, one of the genetic counselors within that group started mentoring me on herbal remedies. And that's how I started learning, really started going depth into natural health. And him in particular, we used to work together on a lot of different aspects of natural health. And he's been educating me on wellness and everything else. In early 2000, I think they had asked me to step up, and I was nominated for president of the support group.
Okay.
So early 2000, that's when I took the seat as president of that particular group and started moving towards education and managing that particular group and educating others so they could take over as well. What I strongly believe in is not only you should learn, but you should teach and give back. Because eventually, I know for a fact that someone else has to take over, and that information
and also
has
pass
to
the information to the next generation.
Exactly, we have to pass the information, and we have to pass the throne, and we have to allow leadership to keep moving forward. But at the same time, we want to have an in-depth history and keep giving that information to future prospects. So currently, that's my role. I'm still the president of the support group. So therefore, like I said, we do a lot of education and training on wellness. We also teach teenagers on lifestyle management and dealing with the different social media aspect, the different stress that comes with that. So to me, that's very important. And as well as teaching them what is sickle cell disease and how you really take control of it.
Okay. And in your research, like, with herbal remedies, what are your findings in terms of sickle cell and how it helps individual living with sickle cell?
Well, in terms of herbal remedies, it's always based on individuals. There's a lot of what they call nervine, which is, it could be herbal teas that kind of relaxes you. So therefore, if you just initially going into a pain episode, you may just drink some herbal tea that may relax you enough where you could actually relax and let that pain transition through. But also beyond herbals, there's homeopathic care, there's acupuncture, there's breathing techniques. There's so many modalities that can be applied in terms of managing wellness. I always say I don't want to just focus on sickle cell disease, that one has to look into. But most important, one has to know oneself, because you have to see what works for you. Perhaps you could say, I don't like teas, maybe tea won't work for me. Perhaps a homeopathic tablet may work better. And you may look at the individual themselves. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking enough water? Or are you doing too many things at one time? Or are you overexerting the body? So there's a lot of aspects that go into it. So therefore, I know what, me personally, if I'm educating someone, I want to do it from an individual basis versus assuming everything will work for everyone. Just like anything else, whether it's going to be the pharmaceutical approach or the medicinal natural wellness approach, you always got to look at the individual, because everyone is relating to life in a different aspect.
In your experience, what is the average time or like length of time that it will take for any of those remedies to actually work for an individual I know it's on an individual basis, but would you say like on average, like it could take 3 months, 6 months? Like how would you quantify that?
It varies, and it also varies on what the individual is going for. I know
Let's say pain management.
I could tell in pain management, if we look at acupuncture, during an acupuncture session, you could feel a difference in 15 minutes. Once that practitioner start administering the different needle points, and within 15 minutes, you could go from pain to no pain.
Okay.
So it may vary. You may take a herbal remedy. It may take an hour or two before you start feeling some relaxation. Breathing techniques, it may take you longer based on if the person is able to actually relax themselves. And of course, there are times where those particular modalities may be not enough. So therefore, you have to get that balance and say, okay, maybe it is time for me to go visit my practitioner or go to the emergency room or something like that. But that's something, again, the individual had to make that decision. But there's a time frame that varies. It could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, it could be 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Depending on the modality using, there's different approaches.
Okay. So we are at the Sickle Cell Community Consortium Summit, and one of the topics that came up, I know it comes out almost all the time, in terms of like, how we can like, change the in terms of like the narrative of us working together so that we can make change happen in the sickle cell community at large. What's your opinion on that?
I think it's very important for us to work together, and not just us as individual CBOs, but I think as a people, because collectively, when we work in collaboration, we could get a lot more accomplished and reach our goal a little bit faster pace. There's an old African proverb that goes, when you want to move through life fast, go alone. When you want to move far in life, take people with you. So same aspect, when we want to bring sickle cell awareness, when we want to bring a better lifestyle to individuals, we do have to work collectively, because what's happening in Canada may be different that's happening in Georgia, may be different that's happening in Chicago. So therefore, when all those minds come together and we agree that we're mutually going to work for the greater good, then we could get to that level where we're getting better results and people are actually receiving a better quality of life.
Oh, well said. Well, thank you, Parnel, for your time. And we had the Sickle Cell Consortium Summit, and I'll be bringing you guys some interviews from different stakeholders and different patient organization, patient advocate that want to give them their perspective on sickle cell and how we can live a better and healthier life.
And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, listeners. Thank you for doing the great job you're doing. I appreciate you sharing that information, letting people know. And I've always seen you at several events all the time. So I definitely want to appreciate all the work you're putting forward on behalf of so many that's perhaps not even here or not able to come here. So I appreciate your work, and thank you for what you do. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, people.
See you guys.
Take
Peace.
care.
See you in the next episode.